All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rahaha, Kwadash. Double honors to the head apostle and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. This is the brother Mattathiah from the GMS Virginia camp, coming to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the true and holy, powerful name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai being the true, holy, and powerful name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus and Christ. Bahashim is in the name, and Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson. And I got a couple video clips I want to go into. And as you know, we're still in this government shutdown, and if this government shutdown continues on to October 27th, there will be no food stamps, WIC, SNAP benefits for the month of November. Okay. And it will supersede the previous longest shutdown in United States American history, which was during the first presidential term of Donald Trump, and will become the longest American government shutdown in history. Okay. And it's not looking good. It's not looking good. It looks like that this shutdown will continue on well beyond October 27th. So let's get into this video right here. I'll try to leave the links in the description box of the videos that I bring out. This video is entitled Food Stamps and SNAP Benefits Impact by Government Shutdown. Senate denies bill for the 11th time as shutdown continues. So without further ado, let's jump into it.
Bill Monday for the 11th time. Democrats say they're still holding out for an extension to health care subsidies that are set to expire. Republicans are expected to put forward a bill to pay only troops and essential federal employees, but that is also unlikely to pass. The House has not even convened since the shutdown started. State health officials say food assistance could be cut off for millions if the government does not reopen in a few days.
Tisia Muzinga joins us in studio with a look at the concerning situation. Tisia.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Lawmakers have less than a week to reopen the government before state agencies say the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, could impact families ahead of the holidays. Now, the U.S. Department of Agriculture sent a letter to state agencies on Friday. It said there will not be enough funds to pay November's SNAP program if the government shutdown continues past October 27th. The program provides help for 42 million people across the country. Clarissa Clark with the North Texas Food Bank says they already had a game plan before the government shutdown, but she also says she anticipates every area will see an increase of people if SNAP benefits don't come next month.
Luckily, we were able to purchase our USDA food through December in September, so we will get our food. It's going to just put more pressure on our agency partners who are already seeing big increases because of the high cost of living.
The North Texas Food Bank covers 12 counties.
Yeah, so this government shutdown is not just affecting the people, but it's affecting these businesses and these companies as well. And amid, they've been referred to these SNAP benefits get cut off, it's going to drastically affect the people and these companies and these businesses, because these businesses rely on people receiving their WIC, their SNAP benefits, their food stamps to spend at their particular stores, right? From your corner stores to your major super centers like Walmart. And you've heard what the so-called Black woman has stated concerning, possibly not receiving food stamps on November 1st. All right. She says she's taking matters into her own hands. She's going to steal. She's going to loot. Well, Walmart has a response to that. Well, allegedly, right? And we're going to play that video. So bear with me one moment. All right, here's the video. And this is from Arrows of Indignation 144. Watch, subscribe, and be edified. The title of his video is "You Crash Outs Didn't Consider This Allegedly If Proven True." And this is concerning Walmart's response to these people, primarily the so-called Black woman, stating that she's going to loot, she's going to steal, she's going to come in and fill up her grocery cart, and you ain't going to stop her, and she's walking out, right? And she's recorded herself making these threats and these claims. Well, allegedly, Walmart has a response that there ain't going to be no open doors. You're going to have to order your stuff from the app, right? So without further ado, let's jump into it.
Keep acting a fool and saying what y'all gonna do when y'all don't get y'all SNAP benefits. Well, Walmart has just released what they're going to do. Walmart said the doors will be locked. Ain't nobody coming in the store but the employees. Place your order online. Do your shopping before November 1st, because you won't be coming up in here with that mess. Walmart said they don't have time for that. Thank y'all for letting us know. Doors will be locked. Place your order online.
And I can see this happening. Okay. I mean, it makes sense. You know, amid food stands being shut down, you know, the amount of police manpower it would take, you know, to put 10 police officers, 15 police officers at every single Walmart. And that's just the Walmarts. Let's not forget about the Food Lines, the Krogers, you know, the Big Lots, etc. You know, so we could very well see not just Walmart, but Kroger's, Food Line, you know, as well as other major places where people shop to get food and groceries have an online order only system. Okay, where you can only order online for a particular period of time until the government reopens or whatever, you know, to crack down and cut down on potential theft, robbery, looting, and stealing.
Pull up. It might be a little wait, but you're not coming in here with that. You're not coming in here with that foolery. We're not about to take a L, okay? Yeah. Walmart said not today, not tomorrow. We'll reopen back in January. That part. Because y'all don't know how to act. Y'all do not know how to act. And then y'all tell them what y'all gonna do before it hit. Let it be a surprise. Keep something a secret. Then your mama teach you how to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, you know, hey, Jake is stupid. All right. Jake is stupid. Let's get that preset real quick, because you got Jake telling, you know, broadcast to the whole world what they're going to do before they do it, you know, concerning illegal activities. And that's Jake's MO. You know, you see Jake doing that on TV concerning hip hop, rap. You know, Jake is speaking about his illegal activities that can potentially get him incarcerated and thrown in jail just off the strength of what he said. And it's happened. All right. You've had rappers go to jail off speaking about crimes that they've committed. You gave them the missing piece. You gave the feds the missing piece of the puzzle that they needed. Right. Salakia. Let's get this preset real quick. I don't know why my phone pulled out. There we go. Let's go to Jeremiah, the 4th chapter, real quick. This is Jeremiah 4 and verse 22. It says, "For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children." Yeah, Jake is stupid. Okay. It says, "For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children. They have none understanding. They are wise to do evil." Yeah, they're very wise to commit criminal acts, to do things that'll get them locked up in jail and prison. All right. You know, they don't put their trust in Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. You know, they put all their trust in this system and Esau Edom. And now that it's collapsing, now that Esau Edom is not standing behind you, supporting you, all right, nourishing you, all right. Now you're taking matters into your own hands. It says they are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. Okay. Now let's jump from that to Ecclesiastes chapter 12. And I got one more video to play as well, going into the nigger woman, speaking about, you know, this potential November 1st no food stamp month. This is Sirach chapter 12 and 1. "Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not." And through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, we're out there warning you Israelites, telling you to repent, telling you what's about to take place on the earth, telling you the times that you're living in, all right, in times past. The prophets have warned you of these times that we're going through right now, okay? We told you it's going to get a lot worse. We told you a famine is coming. We told you America is not going to continue in the current state that it was in, that there is a dark, grim future for this place, right? It says, "While the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them." See, right now, hey, you know, people are seeing that American dream slipping away from them, and they're coming to the realization that that American dream was nothing but a dream. All right, and it was not attainable. It says, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. And the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Every day there's less and less jobs. Artificial intelligence is replacing you, is taking your jobs all across the board, from government jobs to the local McDonald's and Burger King. Now let's read verse 4 in the NLT. It says, remember him before the door to life's opportunities is closed. And this is what you're witnessing. These people are coming to the realization that their opportunities, that retirement, that future, that that fund that they had laid off, okay, for a rainy day, for when they grow old, it's coming to an end. And what they thought that they could obtain is now unobtainable. And America, as you know, it has taken a drastic turn, a drastic change, which you've been warned of. We told you this was coming, and we're right there at the doorstep of this devil rolling out the MOTB, the micro CHIP, okay? And we very well could see Esau Edom use this particular government shutdown and these food stamp benefits cuts to persuade and get people to take his digital ID and ultimately, that MOTB, right? It says, remember him before the door to life's opportunities is closed and the sound of work fades. Now you rise at the first chirping of the birds, but then all their sounds will grow faint. Now I want to play this other video. And this video is from the channel Pink Boo Lessons. I believe it's a woman, female YouTube channel. This is actually the first video I've watched on this channel. But this came up in my YouTube search concerning these women stating that they're going to steal and loot from these grocery stores if they don't receive their stamps. So this video is entitled, Woman Vow to Steal Groceries If Food Stamps Don't Drop by November 1st. All right, so let's go ahead and play a good portion of this video, and we're going to bring out some scriptures as well.
I ain't paying for it. Snooks, Walmart. Oh, and by the way, if y'all take food stamps, it ain't gonna do it but have me walking around with meat in my pockets, because I ain't paying for it. Snooks, Walmart, Costco, anybody can get it. I don't give a.
Now, why the fuck I just wake up and I see that they talking about, oh, people not getting they SNAP benefits in the month of November. I know, like, y'all ain't take my mama food stamps in the month of Thanksgiving. Are you serious?
He said in the month of Thanksgiving. Yeah, hey, and this this potential food stamp cut for November 1st is coming, during a holiday, which, a so-called holiday, so-called a holy day of the land, right? Which ultimately is against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And it goes back to, concerning Thanksgiving. It goes back to celebrating your oppressor's day, all right? And it's not something you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are supposed to be celebrating, okay? Let's get that real quick. Let's go to Amos chapter 5 and 21. And, our people rely on food stamps to get their turkey, to get their abominable foods, their chitlins, their stuffing, their cranberry sauce, so they can, gather together and pray to Jesus Christ and celebrate the so-called white man's holiday, right? Well, now your Thanksgiving is going to be with a TV dinner, all right? And you're going to be sitting at home by yourself, all right? Because your family ain't coming over to share that TV dinner with you, all right? This is Amos 5 and 21. It says, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai hates and despises you Israelites' feast days, okay? Because you don't not partake in the high holy days or the feast days of the scriptures. You say you believe in the Bible, right? You say you believe in God and Jesus, etc. But here it is, the Bible tells you what to do and you do the opposite. Okay, for whatever means, for whatever excuse, you may persuade, others and your own mind to believe. Okay, let's continue on.
Are we finna riot or what? Because this is taking it too far. It's already been too far, but they have taken it to hell. We're not going to eat. I'd be damned if I pay for a mother turkey with my own money.
What you mean you're not paying for a turkey with your own money? Who's supposed to pay for it? Millions of black families in this country been buying turkeys and funding our own holiday meals for decades. Like, really?
I know my mama better get her stamps on the 15th. If y'all need her name and her number, all of that, I'm telling you, let them stamps not be there. I'm organizing a riot in every city. I'm not playing.
You know what? If I don't get my food stamps, I'm going to Walmart, I'm going to rack up, and I'm going to ride right out the door, and I dare anybody to put their hands on me. I'm going back to stealing, so you better lock your cars. I'm going.
Hey, so from old to young, the so-called black woman is stating that she's stealing if she don't get her stamps. And when you read the book of Exodus in the 20th chapter and the 15th verse, it says what? Thou shalt not steal. And these same women will be the same ones that are sitting in the front of these church pews, say and try to persuade, people that they're so righteous and they believe in God and this, that, and so forth, right? Those same women are going to be looting and stealing come November 1st, or at least trying to, okay? Because Walmart has made claims that, hey, guess what? You can try to loot and steal in our place, but it ain't going to happen. We're going to make it very, very hard for you because the door is going to be locked. All right. So you're going to have to loot and steal from the parking lot. And you best believe there are going to be police and very well military personnel on the scene. Okay.
Take everything in sight.
If only she could run into a dentist's office and steal a smile. I don't get why she's not trying to steal that. But ever since officials warned that should the government shutdown continue, EBT recipients won't receive benefits on November 1st, there's been a wave of women going online vowing to steal food from grocery stores. It's absolutely crazy. People openly claiming they'll break the law before they even try.
I'm trying to make sure I heard this right. Trump said all the groceries is free now? That's what I heard. Well, you take from us, we take from you.
You see, it's the so-called black woman, right? You don't hear about these other nations filming themselves talking about they're about to take and they about to do this and they about to do that, and they don't get the food stamps, or and the government don't open up and reopen up. You know what I'm saying? And even if they were going to do that and that was in their mind, they're not going to tell the whole world. They're not going to film themselves of the illegal activities that they're about to do before they do it. This is something that Jake does, and once again, Jake is the face, of everything that's wrong. Esau's painting you as the problem, as the looter, the stealer, the theft, the robber, the criminal. Okay, not that our people aren't criminals, because they are. I'm not saying every single so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, but a large majority of our people, when push comes to shove, they're willing to participate in illegal activities to get by, right? And ultimately, it's because they put their trust in this system. They put their trust in Esau, Edom. Let's get Isaiah 31. This is woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. And these women have gone before Esau, Edom to get help, to get aid. And now the Esau, Edom's not backing them. He's not nourishing them. He's not continuing with that support. Now they're willing to get down to the nitty gritty to really get their hands dirty. Okay. And they've put the blame on Trump and these various different politicians. No, these wicked elites are systematically doing these things that you see on the earth, because they're bringing down this current system. They're causing chaos. They're causing disorder so they can bring about a new order, right? It says, and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel. See, they don't look to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for aid, for help, They don't pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They don't have faith, right? We haven't seen one, we ain't seen no videos of our people saying they're just going to trust in the Lord will provide, right? I'm not going to steal. I'm not going to loot. The Lord going to take care of me. The nigger woman says she's taking matters into her own hands. She basically saying to hell with the Lord. She says the Lord is not in the equation. And little do you know, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, okay, is the one controlling and doing all these things that are playing out on the earth. It says, but they look none unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. So they don't seek Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Ultimately, they're crying to who? They're crying to Esau. Esau, please let this government open up. Please give me my stamps. Please, I don't want to have to loot and steal. What am I going to do with my kids? How am I going to eat? Right?
Thank you. We're going to be running out the motherfucking stove.
I swear to God, y'all gonna get tired of me. Y'all gonna get tired of seeing my face and this motherfucker going in. Y'all gonna get tired of
you Esau really set y'all up. Esau really set these women up. He whispered those sweet words in your ear and said, I got your back. You don't need no man. You're strong and independent. I'm gonna give you a nice job. I'm gonna give you SNAP, WIC benefit programs. I'm gonna give you housing. I'm gonna keep your belly full. All right, and I'm gonna allow you to get nice and full. You see, these women, majority of them are overweight. Okay, and they thought that Esau was always going to be behind them, supporting them. All right, and they would be able to stand on that. I don't need a man. I'm strong and independent. I look at me. I got me a car. I went to college. I'm taking care of my own. I'm raising these multiple kids by different men that I've laid down with, etc. I can use a child support program, and that's another thing Donald Trump is speaking about. He's possibly going to cut is the child support program. All right. So it speaks about in Isaiah the 32nd chapter, man. The time of you women sucking off the system is coming to an end. Let's go to Isaiah 30. It says, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, that cover with their covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked in my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. See, they trust in America. They trust in this system. They trust in what the so-called white man has whispered in their ears and laid before them. And they have not considered the latter end. They haven't considered that this was going to come to a stop. Verse 3, it says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Because Esau Edom is always up to no good. The modern day Pharaoh is always up to no good, because guess what? Though he does something for a time, all right, he's always switching up, okay? He always has his fingers crossed. The scriptures say never trust thine enemy, right? Let's continue on.
Because I'm fucking upset. It's bad enough I gotta pay rent. It's bad enough I got a car note. It's bad enough we gotta pay insurance. It's bad enough.
This is what you women fought for. What do you mean it's bad enough this and bad enough that? There was a time where you women didn't work, but you fought for those rights, equal rights. You fought to work. You fought to pay a car note. You fought to pay gas. You fought to have these various different titles. You fought to have a job, to work in an office, to do these various different things. This is what you fought for. Okay. So now it's coming back to bite you in the ass.
Gotta pay light bill. It's bad enough we gotta pay for gas.
Oh, you gotta be an adult.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much.
No, you don't know what you're saying. This is Isaiah the 32nd chapter and verse 9. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. And, the easement, the rest, so to speak, for these women is coming to an end. Okay, verse 10, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless woman. And these women are very, very careless. They're careless with the money that they have. They're careless with even the benefits that Esau gives them. They're careless with their lives. Okay. The scriptures say, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. She has no shame. Look at this woman. She got a goddamn bonnet on. The fake eyelashes, the bonnet. And she's got, as she's on EBT, she's got about 3 or 4 kids, right? It says, many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless woman, for the vintage shall fail. So it's not going to continue. that support you were getting for Esau is eventually going to come to end. And let's say they restore food stamps, okay? Eventually, food stamps will be cut off. Eventually, there's not going to be food out here. Eventually, we will enter into an all-out famine. But you best believe if they cut off food stamps, a lot of these women are not going to eat. At least they're not going to eat like they used to, okay? And you got your famine right there off the strength of people not having EBT, SNAP, WIC, okay, these benefits from the government. It says, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, you woman that are at ease. Be troubled, you careless ones. Strip you and make you bare. Girt sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Okay. You know, so they ultimately want the government to reopen so they can keep sucking off of Esau. They can keep receiving that nourishment, that support, their benefit programs, etc.
And then on top of that, I'm pregnant. Like, what the?
And here we go, pregnant. Ma'am, where is your husband? Why are you complaining on the internet about not having money?
Yeah, well, these women ain't got no husbands. They ain't got no man. Right, they're strong and independent. Esau said, hey, guess what? For you to get full aid, you know, for you to reach maximum capacity, you know, your full potential, you can't have no man in the house. All right, to reach your full potential, your full benefits, you got to be on your own. You need a couple kids too. That's when you get a fully loaded EBT card. That's what you'll get, a fully loaded. You know, you'll pay the least amount for your housing, right? And then we'll set you up and give you some info how you can use the government system to put these men that you've had children by on child support, you know. And girl, hey, guess what? You can spend that money on yourself. That ain't got it over the kids, right? This is Job 39:16. It says, she is hardened against her young ones as though they were not hers. Hey, these women said they're about to loot and steal. Potentially, they're going to put themselves at risk of getting locked up and thrown in jail. So what happens to all these kids that you had, that you're so-called raising and supporting in your home, right? So you just could say, I'm going to loot and steal for my kids, but when I get locked up and thrown in jail, oh, the kids are just on their own. It says, she is hardened against her young ones as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear, because Yahweh hath deprived her of wisdom. So the Heavenly Father has deprived you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American women of wisdom. It says, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. And these women are completely against the order that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has established concerning the man being the head of the household and the man being over the woman.
For food when you have a whole baby baking in the oven. That's your husband's job. I don't get it. Why y'all keep on laying up with all these men, pushing out babies left and right, and can't afford these children because you're big grown behind, can't even take care of yourself? This is pathetic.
Donald Trump said we ain't getting no food stamps this month. Now listen. I made a promise to the man above that I wasn't gonna do no more stealing. So regardless of whatever Donald Trump got going on over there in that office, I can't go and loot. So when y'all take y'all ass out there and loot in them stores, can y'all please loot for me? Is that too much to ask for? A girl just trying to keep her promise that she made to the man above. Because I know if I break that promise, then he gonna feel like I ain't got no faith in him. He gonna feel like that I don't believe he is who he is, and he has the last say. So he gonna feel like I don't believe it, and I truly believe that. So when y'all go in the store, can y'all just give me a pack of noodles and a case of water or something like that? You feel me? And I ain't even watched the news, so I don't really know how true it is or not. And I'm not going to go looking for it, because they say if you go looking for something, you gonna go find it. I don't want to go find out about us not getting no more food stamps next month. But once again, that goes back to me saying I'm not worried about it because I'm God's child and I know He gonna take care of me and mine. He gonna make sure we straight. So whatever Donald Trump got going on, hey, I'm gonna let him do it. But when God get over there to that the White House, and twist his mother fingers back for over here.
Yeah, these women are through. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 4. Yeah, these women are losing their shit, and the Esau just blew on them. The food stamps is, it ain't been cut yet. It's still up and running. Wait, how do you think these women are gonna act when it actually gets shut down? When they come November 1st, and they walk into a store and try to swipe, and it says declined, or they call that food stamp EBT number and say, guess what? You have a zero balance. How do you think they're gonna act? Okay. This is Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 28. It says, let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands the thing which is good, that he may have to give him that needeth. Okay. Because you got men that are speaking about, men that are on food stamps also that are talking about, well, I ain't working, it's the taxpayers' responsibility to, you know, provide for my EBT, my food stamps, right? And these women, basically he's in the same mindset of these women, because this is what these women are saying, that it's the taxpayers' responsibility to provide for their kids, to get their food, put food in their house and on their table. Let's read that in the NLT. It says, if you are a thief, quit stealing. Instead, use your hands for. And these women are already stealing. These women go in these Walmarts and these food lines, and they already looting, walking out, stuffing shit in their pants, stuffing shit in their shirts. Especially if they overweight, they can make that shit blend in like it's part of them. Like, oh, that's me right there. That's just fat and shit hanging out, right? Let's see here. Okay, let's get one more precept and we can wrap it up. Let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15. Because this is just the beginning, and it's going to get a lot worse than it is. And, what the coming days and months, it's going to get a lot bad, a lot worse than, these people have realized. Far beyond their wildest dreams. Okay, food stamps, WIC benefits. All right, jobs. That's going to be the last thing on your mind very, very soon. This is 2nd Ezra 15, and let's go down to verse 15. It says, "For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another." See, because this is what these women are talking about. They're talking about invading one another. They're talking about doing anything necessary by all means, to put food on their table, to provide for their kids, etc. Because they're not going to be receiving their benefits. And this is going to happen all across the board, though. You're going to have people invading one another because of the great famine that's about to come upon this place. All right. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Look at these statements that these women are making, just off the strength of, not having food stamps, not having a job, not having money, not having access to food, potentially by, being able to buy it and purchase it. Okay. Just off the strength of Esau saying possibly, maybe you might not receive your food stamps, right? They're saying, "Oh well, hey, I'm taking action. I'm taking matters into my own hands," right? It says, "They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So just imagine when all hell breaks loose and society completely shuts down, right? The mindset these people are going to be in. Right? It's going to be an all-out survival to finish mindset. I remember when Alex Jones said, "Hey, he said my daughters are going to eat," and he basically said he will become a cannibal, right? And he will, kill another. He said, "I got to look at my neighbors and look at stringing up my neighbors so I can, feed my kids." So these people are gonna resort. You're gonna have a lot of these people in America, Babylon the Great, resort to cannibalism. Okay, as a means of survival because of the great famine upon the land. Let's keep reading. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able," we very well could see a martial law status very, very soon. It says, verse 18, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." And see, the majority of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans don't understand what Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is about to bring upon this place. You have no idea. You have no clue. This is something your local pastor, your local priest, your local TikToker and podcaster is not telling you. All right? Great evils are coming upon this place, and you're really witnessing the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble, but it's going to get a lot worse. Scriptures speak about in Daniel in the 12th chapter, how bad it's going to get. And, our people have not taken heed to the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. They have not taken heed to the prophets that the Lord has set all over the four corners of the earth. So they're going to be very, very confused, and they're not going to be stable in these times. You already see how these women and these men are talking, aiming at this government shutdown, November 1st, etc. This stable at people are crashing out, right? Matter of fact, let's close out on Isaiah 33. This is Isaiah 33:6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, as strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure." And see, the majority of our people, they do not fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. And they don't have wisdom and knowledge. They don't have the truth. Therefore, they're not going to be stable in these times that we're coming in. Once again, I'll leave the link in the description box to these video clips that I went into. Lord willing, that was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rchaha Kodash. Double honors to the head apostle, and that is a great millstone who rule well and teach well. To the next time, Shalom.